Power 105.1, New York City Pop and R&B. Rapsody is here today.
What's up, Queen? How you doing? I'm back.
Hey, it's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, all the time.
I've been loving some of these looks that you've been serving.
Shout out to Misa Hilton and her assistant Jenna Tyson.
So Misa, for many who maybe a youngin' who don't know, Misa been in the game a long time.
Yes.
She credited with Mary J. Blige, early style, Lil Kim, Jodeci.
Lil
she's
Kim,
a legend, Missy, legend icon stylist, and you've been working with her.
Yeah.
Is that hard? Is that different for you?
No, like I first met Misa last year. We did something with Puma and MCM, and the first time I met her, it's like, oh, she like big sis, like mad humble. She just loves to create. And then a year later, I went to see her doc, and I was so inspired by her story in the documentary. I was like, man, let me see if she'll creatively direct the video. And we just been hanging. She's been helping me get my style right ever since.
Is that because you're like me, like we're hoop earrings, sweatshirt girls. Hoops, we like sneakers,
fly kicks.
Yes,
yeah.
But Misa will push your ass a little bit, right? Or will she? Or does she keep it in line with what you like?
She keeps it in line with
who
you are. She'll ask you what is my vision for what I see, but she also looks and she's like, this is what I see, and there'll be she just takes that and creates this dope thing, and everything she's put me in, I've loved. So,
that's good.
Yeah,
she's really dope and talented.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited. So Friday album comes out. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm happy with what we created. It's a lot of growth. It's something that represents Black women. Men can rock with it too. So yeah, I'm happy to put all these stories that I've created out in the world and just see how they go.
Isn't that crazy that you sit and where do you write mostly?
With this album, I did it all in my house.
In your home?
I recorded myself. I wake up in the morning, go get on the couch, write. Go record, come back downstairs, do the same thing.
But like you be home probably in your pajamas sometimes, right? Or whatever.
Yeah,
you just
like whatever, sweats.
And you come up with an idea.
Yep.
And then you put it out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It should be understood, but it's kind of a dope thing to have happen, right?
It's dope because you look back and it's just like, wow, like I can take each song and remember like where I was and what I had on, and to see it come from an idea in your head to you record it, and now it's mixed, mastered, and this part of this whole big story. It's like, wow, like we really got there because you so into the zone and in the moment that when it's all done, like it's just like, man.
And then you
God
see people
gave me a gift. I'm thankful.
And then people connect to it
and
how they receive it.
Yeah.
I love the concept of this album. It's so dope.
Thank you.
I can't believe nobody's ever thought about doing this
That's
before.
That's what Queen Latifah said when I played it for her. She's like, why I ain't think of that?
Yeah, it sounds like something she would have absolutely done had she had thought about it.
Completely.
She's on the album, by the way. Queen Latifah's on the album. That must have been dope.
No, that was super dope.
How does that happen?
I've always wanted to work with her. Murs, we connected through Murs out in LA. He had asked me like, had I ever worked with her? I was like, no. He was like, man, let me see how I can help. Like, who I know, because Murs knows everybody in LA. If he don't know nobody in any other state, he knows everybody. So he reached out. He got in touch with Shakim, her assistant. And just
a manager.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, Shakim.
She didn't mean nothing by that.
I ain't mean that. I've been saying that all day too. I'm glad you corrected me. Her manager, and he just connected her in Ninth, and she connected with me, and it was just like big sis from the first phone call. Like she called me the first time, and a few days later she just called every day and just checked in, and we connected in LA, went to the studio, played her the whole album. She gave me like advice, pointers. She told me like you should change the title of the album. I did that. That's how I got
She
Eve.
did?
Yeah.
What was it before?
I'm not gonna say, because every time I say it, they be like, ooh.
Why, it was good or bad?
Yeah, it wasn't I am not gonna say it's bad, but this was better.
Okay.
Definitely better. So yeah, she gave me her thoughts, and then we went to her crib and we worked on a song together. So
in her house.
In her house.
Is her house crazy?
Everybody asks me that. She worked hard. She earned it. That's what I'm gonna say.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't been to her crib. I've been to her office, and her office is dope.
Yeah.
But I've never been to the crib.
I ain't walk over it, but it's a beautiful place. Like,
yeah.
She earned it. She deserved it.
By the way, she should have a beautiful place.
She should. Yeah. I was inspired. I was like, man, I gotta work harder.
Yeah. That's crazy. So she's on one of the joints. Yeah. And and so is J. Cole. J. Cole's on the album. Love Cole. But the concept is, well, you tell it.
Yeah, the concept is I wanted to make something that showed that we as black women aren't monolith. Like we're a spectrum. You know, we got different styles, different flavors, different attitudes, and I wanted to make a project that showed just that, what the world looks like as black women and as individuals. You know, like one day I might feel like this, another day I might be a tomboy, I might be fly. You know, I might have an attitude one day if I'm feeling away. So, you know, it's named after I picked 16 women, so I named every song after an influential black woman, but that represented a different energy. So there's a Nina Simone, who's from North Carolina, who represents, you know, the artistry of telling the truth in your music and soulful. And then you got Amirlee Evers. I wanted to make a song dedicated to black widows because we don't tell those stories enough. There's Michelle from Michelle Obama. I wanted to showcase, you know, Michelle being just a dope fly black sister from the south side of Chicago who loves to dance and party to actually becoming the first lady of the United States. Aaliyah, I wanted to touch on being a tomboy, and you know how today there's a strong image that's promoted in the mainstream, but I wanted to bring balance and say, like, I remember coming up and one of the sexiest women was Aaliyah, but she was a tomboy. So, you know, a lot of people look at me like, why you dress like that? It's just how I dress, but it's a different type of sexy for women. Like, sexy comes in different forms, and I'm tomboy sexy, or tomboy feminine, what I like to call it. So that's just what the project is.
So dope. Cleo,
not Cleopatra, but Cleo from Set It Off.
God. I love that. Why wouldn't you put Queen Latifah on that one?
I played that one for her. I gave her because the one Hatshepsut was about queens, you know, and I really know she talked about that a lot, you know, when she was coming up, and I thought it would be a dope project song for her to do. But when I did that one, that was one of the last songs I did. I was like, that makes sense. So I let her choose which one she wanted to be.
That's dope. Yeah. Cleo, I loved Cleo and Set It Off.
Yeah, that's the one, you know, I'm coming at you like, you just gotta go ahead on that one. Like, it's like musically what Cleo would feel or sound like.
I think it's so dope too. One of the songs is named after Tupac's mom.
Yes.
Afeni Shakur. It's called Afeni. And why did you decide to do that one?
Keep Your Head Up was one of my favorite Tupac songs. So in that song, I used a clip. I wonder why we kill. I wonder why we rape our women. Do we hate our women? So that song is the last song that really ties the project together. And just what he spoke on about Keep Your Head Up. Tupac was who he was because he was raised by a strong black woman. And I don't think the story of Afeni is told enough, and how much she influenced and inspired him. Like, the Tupac we had is a direct reflection of the mother that raised him. So just to give her props and show that she was strong. She was a part of the Black Panthers, and she raised a strong black man. And, you know, though, Tupac, like everybody, wasn't a perfect man, but I think he did the best he could. So, you know, I wanted to show her love on that.
This is like the dopest concept of an album I've heard in a really long time.
Thank you, Angie.
Nah, man, congratulations. And so 16 joints.
16, yes.
Rayna,
that's an interlude. Rayna Bitty is a poet from LA, and I started in poetry, but I got hip to her through Soundwave at TDE, and I went to her Instagram and I read some of the things she posted. Then I went to SoundCloud and I heard her speak, and her voice and her writing is just so dope. Like, she reminds me and she hits me like a Nikki Giovanni or Maya Angelou, and I felt like I needed another energy to help tell these stories, and nobody could do it like she could with her words and her poetry and in her voice. So she has 5 interludes on the album.
I love what you said about each woman having because I feel like they do this, especially the women rappers. It's like always the thing they go to, like the pitting people against each other, and like, if you have bars, you are better than, or you should be held at a different standard than somebody who leads with sex appeal, or but I always said that there's always been a Missy for every Little Kim, for every so I love that you make that statement. But is that something that people ask you all the time? Probably. How do you feel about a Cardi B, or how do you feel about I don't know what Nicki's doing, or
yeah, I get asked that a lot, or, you know, who am I listening to, what I think about the state of female hip hop. I think it's beautiful. Like, there's room for us all, and, you know, again, everybody don't want to listen to Rapsody all day long. Like, you know, you're gonna need different energies for different vibes or whatever you feeling. And all the art and craft should be respected. Like, all of these artists are different because they come from different backgrounds. They have different stories to tell. And, you know, you can be inspired or just gravitate towards different energies. Like, you know, it all should be respected and appreciated just for their artistry and their craft and just being different. Mm-hmm. That's what the world looks like. None of us, you know, are the same. So if the guys can do it, why can't we? You know,
why do we have to be one thing? And if we are something different, why do we have to have beef with somebody else?
Exactly.
Or
like, I don't have to dim your light to make mine brighter. Like, there's room for us all. Like, it's been done before. We've seen it. So, you know, it's just about realizing that as a fan base, as a people, and us as artists, you know, and working together and supporting each other and having healthy competition. Like, we can compete, but the competition should be to make the best music. Like, you know, I should want to hear, you know, a Lakaylee 47 project and be inspired to, like, dang, that album was dope. Like, let me go and see how I can match that or beat it, you know, but at the same time, I can still respect her artistry. So, you know, it's just about how we all can give to the culture.
Yeah, 100%. And you're so, and then also there's something that happens when you're as dope as you are in terms of being a lyricist and having bars, and people put you in a
box.
Yeah, like you to represent. You are to represent
right.
This.
Right.
You are not to do any of that.
And don't say this and this and this.
And like, don't fraternize.
Right.
With the.
That's not hip hop.
That's not. I'm so happy you feel that way, because it's very easy to it's very easy to get like, I don't know, just caught up. Yeah, it's very easy, especially people saying it to you all day.
Like, no.
Like, you real hip hop because you do it this way.
Right.
Versus
it's all hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different styles. That's one thing I learned about from Buckshot early on. Like, it's all hip hop. Everybody just has a different style. Like, I'm aware of my purpose. I'm aware of my gift. Like, I have a gift of being lyrical. Cardi B has a gift of entertaining. You know, she didn't get us to be the best lyricist. She's an entertainer. Like, I can't entertain like she can. So it's just appreciating the gifts that God gave all of us that are different. Like, that's it. You know?
I had heard that you said you wanted to work with Cardi, or you tried to do something on this project.
I wanted her on Whoopi. Yeah,
that would have been dope.
I think so. I think it would have been
dope. Can we do a remix or something? Can we make that happen? If you say it a couple more times, she's gonna get wind
put
of
it in the atmosphere. But, you know, if she hears the record and she rocks with it, it's got to be because she rocks with it.
Yeah.
She don't rock with it, I don't want her to do it. And I'd rather do something that makes sense, that both of us love. So I'm put it out there. If she hear it and she feels inspired to do it, like, I think that would be crazy dope.
Yeah.
But
have you met her? Have you had those conversations?
Yeah, we met once. We hadn't had that conversation. We met once and spoke briefly. But, you know, I love her energy, her spirit, her heart. Like, she's just dope.
Yeah.
Do
you have that kind of kinship with a lot of the women in the game?
Me and Lakaylee have a great relationship. Let me see. Me and Il Camille have a dope relationship. There's Sprinkle, me and 3D Natty. Like, some of these we don't talk to every day, but I got a lot of respect for these ladies, and I've spoken to some of them. Tokyo Jets, and she's from Florida. But yeah. Other than that, it's like Jean Grey, Rod Digger, you know, Roxanne Shante. I just connected with her, and now Queen Latifah. So
did you just meet Shante?
We met her a while, but you know, being that she was in the video, like, I got her phone number yesterday. We've gotten to talk and build more. So,
she's dope and super smart,
super, and funny.
Yeah,
I don't think people appreciate how hilarious she is. Yeah, she a battle rapper. All battle rappers funny.
You gotta have jokes if you're a battle rapper. You gotta have jokes.
She keep me like. I'll be done.
So what's next, man? What do you I don't know, what do you shoot for? Like, what's your hopes for the reception of this album? And then I know you're probably going on the road, and
it just got announced. I got added to the Big Crit tour. So me, Big Crit, and Damani will be going out. I'll go out. I'll start that tour October 4th. With any project I have, I don't go in with expectations.
Really?
No expectations. At the very least, you know, I just want people to hear it. And just to see how it resonate and be inspired by it. Whatever I get from it, I get. But I never go into it like I'm expecting to get a Grammy or expecting to go sell platinum records. It's just like, I just try to make the best art that I can make, whatever the universe gives me. I'm going to take that, receive it, and build off of it. Like,
has something surprised you, like a reception or somebody, like, you know, if it's not a Grammy nomination or whatever, is there something that some reception of it that ever surprised you? Like, somebody came up to you and told you it affected them in a certain way. Somebody,
that's what I get from the fans. Like, there was just one time, especially with this project, I ain't gonna say the names, but there's a legendary rapper I played it for, and he cried. when he heard Afeni. And I ain't know what to do, like, but the fact that it touched him in that way, like a grown man, and it just made like, man, it just makes me think about how we treat women. Like it's things like that resonate with me, and that's what I want. Like, if anything, those are the type of stories and emotions that I would like to expect from it more than anything. I just want you to feel it and gravitate. And but anything else, yeah, it's stuff like that.
That's like the greatest flattery ever, though, right? That it would touch somebody that deep, especially a grown ass man.
Right. It was him, and then yesterday I did something as serious. Another man, got watery eyes, so it's just like
for the same song.
Yeah, same song.
For Afeni.
Same song, Afeni. Yeah.
What a blessing. That's so dope, mama.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah.
When do you go on tour? When does that start?
The tour itself starts September 19th, but I get on October 4th, and it'll run until I think November 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, congrats on this, man. Everybody need to get it on Friday. I don't know anything they else need to know. Anything else to promo while we're here?
They think, what am I forgetting?
Do we got any promotional items? Just album, right?
Album. Like, listen to it, stream it, gift it, buy it, watch videos, like anything to support it. I appreciate it.
I've asked like the past couple artists here, so I was like, I'm not gonna ask nobody no more, but I have to ask you because you're, affiliated with Rock, and also because I have affiliations with the Rock. Everywhere I go, somebody ran up on me from TMZ the other day to ask me about this Jay.
Yeah, I got that today.
You got the same thing too?
Yeah, the same thing.
Yeah. So have you been talking about it too, or you?
Yeah, I talk about it.
Yeah, and I know you talked about it with the Breakfast Club a bit, but what are your feelings about the NFL deal?
I think it's dope.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see what comes from it. Like, Jay has a resume. He's been doing the work outside of the camera, and he's been doing it on camera. And to even question that now is crazy to me. Like, everybody has their way of how they want to be activists and how they want to support. Colin Kaepernick chose to kneel and bring awareness to it. Jay wants to go and actually sit at the table and see how, like, I can educate the NFL and how we can work together to do more. And you can't be mad at that. Like, yes, we all want to see Colin Kaepernick back in the NFL, but the reason why he kneeled is so much bigger than him kneeling in football. It's about the people that lives are being affected every day. That's the biggest picture. Sadly, like, things happen where, he's being shut out in the NFL for whatever reason, but Malcolm and Martin lost their lives. That does not stop the work. We still have work to do in it. Everybody's not going to do it in the same way. So for Jay to take the approach he's taking, I think that's needed in the same way we needed what Colin Kaepernick was doing. So I support Jay 100%. And we just need to at least be patient. Even if you don't believe it, be patient and allow him to show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how you just going to come in mad just to be mad? Like, we tweeting and we mad, but what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't doing nothing, then what can you say about him? He's actually taking action. Like, you can put on a Kaepernick jersey and you can kneel, but if you ain't doing nothing, it ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
It's a weird time that we live in, just with social media and the access to people have opinions. I don't know. It almost makes me, when I see something like this snowball the way it has, and granted, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I understand when I hear the arguments, and I'm like, okay, I guess I could I feel differently, but okay, I can kind of understand what your frustrations are or whatever, but it makes it almost like a scary time to stand up for anything.
Right, because everybody has an opinion, and everybody wants you to do it how they want you to do it, like.
So why, if you're somebody like a JayZ, or if you're somebody who has a lot to risk, right? Mm-hmm. It's like I almost feel like we discourage our leaders,
right,
or people who could potentially be great leaders, because who wants to deal with that shit?
Right.
Like, Jay can sit home and play with his twins and hang out with his wife. He don't got to do any of that.
And then you still mad. Because that happened before when he was doing work and nobody knew he was doing work. It was like, why Jay ain't doing this? He got all this money. Why he ain't doing that? Like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. Mm-hmm. Like, I never understand it.
As an artist, as a public figure, does that concern you ever?
No.
Really?
No. At the end of the day, I have to wake up and look in the mirror, and as long as I know I'm doing what's right, and that's all that should satisfy me. At the end of the day, I'm always a firm believer in truth is always going to come to light. So y'all can feel how y'all want to feel, but if you know from your heart that you're doing what's right, and it's coming from a genuine place, and that should satisfy you. Not to say it won't get hard, because it's just the age that we live in, but you got to believe in yourself and where it comes from in a genuine place, and just do what feels right for you, not nobody else, in your way. So
Would you do something that was like against popular opinion?
Yeah, if I really believed in it. Yeah, without a doubt. You can't be swayed by everybody gonna always have something to say, especially today. Like, that's the sad thing. Social media gives too many people a voice on a platform.
I know. I hate it.
Need it.
I be wanting to scream at my phone.
Yeah, and people, and they feel like, some people feel like everything
sitting home doing nothing.
I gotta say, like, everything I think I gotta tweet, I gotta speak on. Like,
yeah, you don't.
Sometimes you could just sit back and listen. It's cool.
I just think it makes it harder for public figures to put themselves out there and to go against the grain, even if you think, I just worry that type of angry mob type of mindset will stop great shit from happening because people don't want to deal with it.
It does. I think it does a lot of time, but for me, it's just like, I can't. I might try to figure out a strategy to approach it, but I personally can't.
Yeah, because
I know it does.
Even taking the stance you take is probably gonna piss somebody off. Yeah,
I read comments and I be like, oh well, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah,
this is what I believe, and I have to speak on it. I have to. I can't be afraid. I can't afford to be afraid. Like, you just got to stand up for what's right. That's what I want somebody to do that for me. So,
I feel that. Well, it's good to see you, baby. I can't wait to get this album on Friday.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
I am. I already am. I already love it. I just love it because of what you did and the concept, and it's just really super special and dope.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate you.
Rhapsody.
Hey.
It's Power 105.1.